to the amendment to the motion. Do we have further comments? Councilmember Ween?
Thank you, Mayor Boudreau. I wanted to bring a little bit of clarity to a few of the comments that were made by other council members regarding the attorney's involvement. I did get an email today. I know that interim manager Dusha is on it. I don't know if he has shared it with everyone. I do know in our council protocol manual that is something that is asked of him. The sharing of information with the city council is one of the city manager's highest priorities in section 7.6B. But I do want to acknowledge what Attorney Giggler said. She's not with us tonight, but in this message, she did in fact say, I was asked to assist on drafting this resolution in the absence of any direction about the policy or procedure that the council hopes to achieve. My recommendation to the city remains that the council make a policy determination in an open meeting and then draft the resolution in accordance with the council decision/direction. She also says in a follow-on message in that same thread with the questions that arise, she says, this brings me back to my primary recommendation that the full council make its policy decisions first and then draft its resolutions accordingly. I fear that this council will attempt to draft, redraft, and edit a resolution from the dais, and that process never goes well. And I feel like that is where we're at right now, that we haven't had a discussion. We have council members directing staff to draft resolutions that we're getting at the last minute, that we haven't had a discussion, and now we're trying to amend something when we don't even know what it is. And to the public's comment around rushing and why the rush, when we have had time, I just don't understand it. I beg my fellow council members to take the time to do this correctly.
Thank you, Councilmember Ween. I would like to add that, again, the council took action and made, my mic is on, the council took action and I believe made that policy decision January 11th, which was directing staff to bring back a resolution for this meeting today, 4 months ago. That action was taken. We did not have a resolution written until this week. Any further questions or comments from council before we go to the vote to the amendment to the motion?
Mayor Boudreau, there's been a lot of really great commentary, and you know, you cannot deny that there are people with experience that were tasked with something that they completed, and they did a great job on it. In our workshop discussion, it sounded like we kind of came to the agreement that good first steps would be cataloging local resources, sites that could be used for emergency shelter, that type of thing. Would it be more prudent to retask this task force maybe to do that and then present it to the county, the county task force as a, like, here's what we have to offer, what can we work together to achieve?
Sure.
That's kind of how I see this. And I want to thank the public for all of the colorful commentary, because ultimately our job here is to take in information and make the best decision we possibly can.
Thank you. Councilmember Wallace.
Before we go to the vote, I would just like to publicly thank the task force committee by name. We have two previously homeless individuals on the task force, Stephen Boyer and Connie Lance. We have an LCC addition, Stephen Boyer. We have Longview School District employee, Lauren Princehouse. We have a law enforcement employee, Tim Watson. We have a county employee, Gina James. City Council, Ruth Kendall. We have grant writer service agency experience from Shannon McLean, Diane Cooper, and Rob Painter Jones. And we have healthcare with Diane Cooper. Our chair is Ruth Kendall. Our co-chair is Diane Cooper, and our support staff is Casey Settlemeyer. And thank you all for serving with your time and talents on this fabulous committee.
Thank you. Council, further questions or comments? Further questions or comments?
Just one more, and
Go ahead.
I just, we did a lot of talking with this committee and we made a list, but without action, that list is pretty worthless. What this group is asking to do is to work on the action of part of it now.
Thank you, Council. I appreciate Councilman Halverson's suggestion to retask the committee itself with assisting with the cataloging of resources. Or Councilman Young, thank you. I appreciate his comments about that. I agree with those comments. I think that would be a good use of those volunteers' time as they step forward to offer their own time and experiences to do that.
Member, I rescind my amendment.
The amendment to the main motion's been rescinded. Council, further questions or comments to the main motion? Please go ahead.
Yeah, I just think we need to do something with section 3. There needs to be some kind of amendment to change. Section 3 doesn't make any sense.
Councilman
Please
Kendall,
strike.
are you
No, strike.
suggesting an amendment?
I would suggest amending
There you go.
to remove section 3.
Remove section 3 and then all of the other numbers go back in sequence as if there was no section 3 that was removed.
I will second.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded to remove section 3 as outlined in the main motion. Council, further questions or comments to that amendment? Anyone from the public wishing to speak to